when Griffin became invisible and leave the house. Then we will discuss the next point. Actually, two boys suddenly noticed a few muddy imprints of bare feet. They started wondering what a barefoot man doing on the steps of a house in the middle of London. It means two boys noticed and watched a few imprints feet of muddy, and both boys started to follow the muddy imprints feet which were making in a house of London. And the man but was nowhere to be seen. They suddenly saw another footmark. The man was still not visible. They started following the footprints. They followed them until the footprints became faint and invisible. It means they had also discussed about those footprints. Just they saw another footmark, but the man was still not seen. And again they started to follow the footprints, and they followed until those footprints became faint and invisible. And in next point, it was winter. It was not easy to walk without clothes. Means it was the winter season, and in winter season it is not easy to live without clothes. And Griffin had no money, and so he went into a big London store. Griffin had no money. Without it, to escape from the people, he had took off his clothes. He stole clothes from there. When he walked with those clothes, it seemed as if a headless man was walking. Means, but he felt cold in on the roads of London, so he hid into a big store of London. It was a big restaurant and a big godown of woolen cloths. So from there, Griffin had stolen some clothes to remove his cold from the store. And after wearing the clothes, when he came out from the store, then he seemed a headless man, and who was walking into a big kitchen of the store. He took meat, coffee, sweets, wine from the kitchen of the store. Then he slept on a pile of quilts there. It means he went into a big kitchen of the store where he had taken some meat, coffee, sweets, and with it he also taken some wine. And after this he slept on a pile of quilts there. Means he slept to take some warm cover in the store room. And the next morning he did not wake up in time. It means next day in the morning he could not wake up early. And the shop assistants arrived and saw him. Griffin ran out in fear. It means some employees of the restaurant arrived in the restaurant and saw Griffin. Griffin woke up and ran out with fear from the storeroom, and the assistants ran after him. Griffin took off his clothes one by one. It means the assistant of restaurant ran after him. Griffin took off his clothes one by one and threw on the road. He became invisible again. Now, once again, he became an invisible man. But now he was shivering with cold. He entered the shop of a theatrical company. It means he became invisible but without clothes. Now he was shivering with cold. Second time, to escape himself, he entered in the shop of a theatrical company. He wore bandages around his forehead and he also wore dark glasses, a false nose and whiskers. It means to escape from the employees of restaurant. In the theatrical company, he wore many bandages around his complete forehead and a dark glass wore on his eyes and pasted a artificial nose and also a big black whiskers on his mouth. Okay students.